1,000 greetings once again to you, our dear and insightful companions, who lend an attentive ear to our discussions on casual chats on economics with Sina. I am Sina, and with immense energy and enthusiasm, I am once again here with you to, together, unveil more secrets from the wonderful and, at times, perplexing world of economics. Friends, before we dive into our engaging discussion today, I have a small request. If you're one of our longtime companions, a huge thank you to you. And if you've recently joined our community, a very warm welcome. Please, to support us and to help us continue this journey with strength, right now, hit that subscribe or follow button for Sina's channel and also activate that little bell icon. That way, as soon as a new episode is released, you'll be the first to be notified. Your presence and your feedback are our greatest source of encouragement. All right, let's continue our adventure in the world of economics. If you recall, in the previous session, we had a detailed chat about how demand, that is, our desire, enthusiasm, and, of course, ability as buyers to obtain a good or service, and supply, meaning the willingness and ability of producers and sellers to offer that same good or service, wrestle and interact like two forces on a scale, ultimately shaping an equilibrium price and an equilibrium quantity in the market. We said it's as if an invisible hand always pulls the market towards this equilibrium. But friends, the market story isn't always that simple and straightforward. The real market is much more complex than that. It's full of events, full of different reactions, and full of attempts to control and guide it. Today, we want to dissect two incredibly important and fundamental concepts together that will help us better understand these complexities. The first concept we want to thoroughly examine is elasticity. The name might sound a bit technical, but I promise with simple and informal examples, it will become completely clear to you. Elasticity tells us how sensitive people and businesses are to changes, especially price changes. If the price of something goes up or down, do we quickly change our behavior and stretch and react like a rubber band, or do we not care much and stand firm like a rock? This sensitivity is key to understanding many market behaviors. The second concept we want to discuss extensively is an always hot and popular topic: government intervention in the market. Should the government always be an impartial observer and let the market do its own thing? Or are there situations where it needs to roll up its sleeves and, with the tools at its disposal, try to guide things in a direction it deems right? If it does intervene, what forms does this intervention take? From price controls to taxes and subsidies? And, most importantly, what positive and negative consequences can these interventions have? These two topics, elasticity and government intervention, are like two very important puzzle pieces that, when placed together, give us a much more complete picture of how real markets function. So, if you're ready to take another exploratory journey with us and look at the world of economics with a more precise view, please accompany me with your full attention. This chat is going to be very practical and full of insights. Part 1. Decoding elasticity. When the market tells us how sensitive we are. All right, let's start without delay with the perhaps somewhat intimidating word elasticity. But don't be afraid. I promise by the end of this section, you'll be completely comfortable with it. Elasticity in economics, very simply and informally, means the degree of responsiveness or sensitivity of one economic variable to a change in another economic variable. Usually, when we talk about elasticity, we mean if the price of something changes, how much does the quantity bought or sold of that thing change? Usually, it changes in the opposite direction, according to the law of demand. First case, elastic or price-sensitive demand, when we become very fussy. What does it mean? It means if the price of a good changes even a little, for example, becomes 5% more expensive, the quantity we purchase of that good decreases by much more than that 5%, for example, 15% or 20% or even more. In this case, we as consumers are extremely sensitive to the price of that good. It's as if we can very easily decide not to buy it or switch to something else. Tangible examples. Various brands of a similar product. Imagine you always use a specific brand of tea bags. There are also 10 other tea bag brands in the market with almost similar quality, taste, and price. Now, if your favorite brand suddenly decides to increase its price by 30% while other brands' prices remain constant, what would you do? In all likelihood, 99% of us would easily